back to Daily Dose. My name is Robert here with my pal Amy. We are family when it comes to Yes and Exercise. She's a board member, and I'm so glad and proud to have her be part of this nonprofit that does the great service we do. And we're talking cinema therapy and Back to the Future in particular, and your experience in that class, Amy. So we come to, the end of the journey, which we're almost at, and the idea is what to do, right? Because it's one thing to write your story and do it, and you put it out in a blog. I wonder with this, does this have a different life? Have you started to think yet about where this story goes or how it gets out?
Um, yes, because the others, while I was in it and I was excited about sharing the story in the sense that we need to share our stories, our Parkinson stories. I put the first one when I did Shawshank on my blog. I actually haven't gotten around to doing the second one. Because I think that after that one, I just lost my momentum, or it was like, it's fine. But I have learned so much at this third stage. I'm doing so much better with my writing that I've gone back. I've already gone back and tweaked things from the beginning so that they will fit in with where I am right now. And I'll probably make some kind of little novella out of it. I don't know. I might not put it out publicly because I know it's not me, but it is. And I'm might just have it for my family. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I am definitely completing it, so to speak. I'm going back and I'm editing. I've already have. And it's looking really good.
It sounds like, I mean, I hear in your voice and the emails you sent me that there is some gratification, a feeling of, wait a minute, I'm not just getting, maybe typical therapeutic benefit, but I'm like, this is garnering more than I thought it was going to. It's
Yeah.
giving me back more than I thought it was going to. The peace of mind of rewriting these
Yeah.
feelings.
Well, I also like, and I mentioned earlier, the playful character of Q. I do want. Oops, excuse me. That was a medication alarm. But it can wait. Um, I mentioned Q. I love Star Trek, and it to be able to, there are so many people who write fan fiction out there. I don't
Yeah.
want to, I'm not saying I want to get into it, but I realized this is my own little fan fiction piece
Right.
because I've taken something that I love, that reaches me. It really does. A
Yeah.
lot of the Star Trek writing, those writers on those shows are incredible.
Well, look, there's two things that I plug often in cinema therapy that play into what you're saying. And one is, everything's a remix. And there's this great documentary that talks about the nature of creativity and that we all stand on the shoulders of giants. And the other one is steal like an artist. That every artist, in fact, does that. And there's a misunderstanding of what creativity is, I think, broadly, leading people to think that only the supremely talented born get to do it because they have some incredible mechanism and a direct line with the divine, as opposed to it being work and paying attention and using tools right up to, as we did in this class, ChatGPT. Yes, we're leaning on that as a generative piece. Now, it doesn't mean we're just putting it and say, write it for me. No, you're using it to get you forward. Talk about your ChatGPT experience because you leaned in well this time. And it seems,
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I mean, and it's kind of crazy. It's like I envision a person, it's a woman. She doesn't have a name or anything, but when I start up, like this morning I said, "Hello, I'm revisiting my final draft of the resurrection, and I have a question about this paragraph. What do you mean by this? Or what does this mean? It doesn't make sense to me. I think it needs to change." And then ChatGPT will say, "You're absolutely right to question that. If you want it to mean this, we should probably redirect it this way. If you want it to mean this, And then it'll say, here are some suggestions for other ways you can say this.
Yeah.
And it gives me like 4 options, and I look at them and I go, well, I think I'm leaning towards this one. What do you think? And it says, well, if you want to be, if you want it to be spiritual, go this way. If you want it to be, you know, whatever. So it's really been helpful. And it's not writing for me. It's making suggestions,
Right.
but I've written the bones, and
Right.
it's helping me flourish. Yeah.
That's exactly right. And that's the kind of, I think, classic misinterpretation of what ChatGPT does, or a misuse of it. It's just a tool. People who just say, do this for me, and you give it very general, it'll give you something, but it can only pull from what it's given. And the less you give it, the more it pulls from broad stuff. The more you give it, the more it's pulling from you. So you establishing that relationship with it and having a general conversation, it gets to know your voice. It gets to understand where you're going. And like you said, you're asking specific questions. It's giving specific answers with choices. You're still choosing.
Yeah.
It's so important to know.
Yeah, exactly. It's been helpful. And I even get to the point where I'm like, I want to talk to my chat GPT. What can I write about today?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, again, it fires new ways of thinking about things and inspires them. And I'm so glad you leaned into it. I'm so glad you've gotten this much. And we're going to continue down that path as well. We'll be doing more just open chat GPT classes. I'll be running workshops outside of cinema therapy, because I think that's a broad societal thing. Like, people really, whether or not you take a cinema therapy class, you should at least know what this thing is and see for yourself. Try it yourself, right? As opposed to, I mean, a lot of people, I think, are still on the fence or scared of it for whatever reason, because, they don't know what it can do or what they can do with it. And to me, it's a tool.
It's so much. You could just be general. I want to write something, but I don't know what I want to write about.
There you go. That's a prompt right there. That's what you start with. And then it'll say, great, here's some questions. Answer these for me.
Yes.
And
then it starts steering you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Amy, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your support, your love, your artistry, and everything you bring to what we do. I'm happy, I'm proud, and grateful.
Well, thank you. I am really grateful. It's been an amazing experience for me to find you and Yaks. It's my community.
All right. Well, everybody out there who wants to get involved, we are working Back to the Future with the Team Fox organization, so you can donate directly, and it'll benefit both Team Fox and Yes and Exercise to get the next generation of students to join the cinema therapy class, taking Parkinson's Back to the Future. Please look us up. It's on the website, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody.